My name is Steve Riley. My title is Director of Facility Management and Athletics. I was raised in Salt Lake City, attended Highland High School and the University of Utah. And I've been here 26, almost 27 years. When I started working here, there was like 8 facilities. The biggest one was the Hyper building because it was divided into 4 sections, east, west, north, and south. There was the Huntsman Center and the stadium, a softball field, and I think that was it. I married Jackie Roberts. We've been married 38 years in August. I have 2 boys, Taylor and Cooper. Obviously they're married and we have 4 grandkids. Well, when you work in the University of Utah, and I specifically say in the athletic department, there's a type of marriage there. You marry into the department. And so when you do that, you bring along your wife and your kids. It's kind of it's part of the job. But that's how it's always been. You're just part of the family. I love the University of Utah. I went here. I grew up here. My first job here was at the Huntsman Center. When I was 9 years old, when it opened, I sold programs. The challenging part of my job has always been to try and bring people together. You've got one sport that wants one thing and another sport that wants another, but they're sharing the same venue. You're running a football game and basketball wants to do a preseason game up to the Huntsman Center and you don't have enough staff to do that. So you kind of like, can you do it later on after the football game's over? We'd be happy to help you. Those kind of things, just an example. The rewarding part, well, it's the wins. You can say Britton Covey's punt return right before half against Oregon. I've never felt the stadium shake like that, ever. But I will tell you, hands down, the best one was, I think it was in 2001, September 2001. Stanford, #1 volleyball team in the country, comes and plays us in the Little Crimson Court up there in Hyper East, and we beat them in 5 sets. I mean, I remember we're up 22-21. Stanford calls a timeout, and I'm standing behind the volleyball team, and I look at Beth, and she looks at me, and she gives me that grin that she has, and I knew right then and there we were going to win. And this place was going to go crazy. And so I just stepped in between the bleachers and just watched it happen. It was cool. I remember that volleyball team. It was maybe a couple of years later, but they were really close. One of them is my neighbor now. And I've watched her grow up. And now she has a family of her own. And it's just so rewarding. I just love that part of the relationship you have with the kids. It doesn't matter about the wins and losses. I mean, I'll see a student athlete in the grocery store and we hug and talk and the relationships are what I treasure. Favorite part of this job is being able to work behind the scenes with people that, working with coaches, working with director of ops. I mean, you're behind the scenes doing this and doing that, getting fields ready, making sure that the locker rooms are ready to go, those kind of things. So that when they come out on the court, you've seen everything from A to Z. I have always enjoyed being behind the scenes and watching the development of how all this comes together. When you say Utah, it is the University of Utah. Could the school down south be in that picture? Possibly. But University of Utah is Utah. And that's what you see. I'm most proud of the relationships that I have built. Greg Marston's probably the best guy I ever met. I will always cherish running gymnastics and working with them. I want people to remember me as somebody that was a team player. someone that was willing to give his all to the cause, and try and be nice about it. I think I've accomplished it all. I think I've done everything I've ever wanted to do here. Hole in one, I'd like to do a hole in one. That would be good. Never have accomplished that. You know, I always thought, how would I leave this place? I would turn in my keys at 4:30 and walk out the door, and that would be the end of it, you know, kind of thing. But no, I'd like to have the chance to thank those that have helped me along the way to be where I'm at. I wouldn't change a thing. I love my life. I love my wife.